welcome back to my channel. It's Angela. How are you doing? How's your week been? And have you been receiving your Christmas parcel or printing out all your Christmas goodies for your Christmas journal? I hope so. Right, today is the first day for putting together our Christmas journals. I'm going to show you what I'm planning to do with mine. Of course, guys, don't forget we will be finishing off the Rustic Reflections writing journal. There's not much to go in it really because it is a writing journal, but I will do a final flip through of that soon. Okay, but I wanted to get going with this one as I said I would on Tuesday. Okay, so today I'm going to show you, as I said, everything that I've gathered. And I do gather everything before the time because I do find it a lot easier when I'm putting together a project or trying to come up with an idea for something that I have those goodies around me. And you know I use those blue trays. All right, I'll show you those when I get through some of the stuff, and then they're stackable, and then I put them together. It's a 5-minute job just to pack it all away, and everything's nice and neat because I don't have time to tidy all the time. Okay, so let's make a start. I have got two journal signatures here. We are actually going to put, well, I'm going to put 3 signatures into this journal, and I'll get to that in a minute, but I will go through those in a sec. All right, so what I have gathered is I've printed off 2 sets of the journal pages. The one set I've printed double-sided, and that I've split over these signatures here, these 2 signatures. And then I've got another set that is just printed on one side that sometimes I reuse for projects and stuff. So that's what's there. You want your add-ons kit and your ephemera kit, and I've already done all of that. All right, so just to show you, I've printed out my add-on and ephemera kit. I've backed it all. I like to back it with this white lacy background paper of mine. And I have cut it all out. All right. So I use the same containers every time. I've cut out all my little sentiment bits here. I've cut out all my little 2 sheets of ephemera over here, the fussy cuts. All right. I've also cut out all my little advent numbers and all the pockets and tags and everything as we usually do. All right, there's my little tabs, and here are the little circles, and that's sort of what I do pretty much every time. Okay, so that's all ready to go now, and I'm going to just put that up at the top. All right, so we've got our journal kit done. That's everything there. As you know, if you haven't already, I do printed kits. So what I'm using is part of the printed kit. This is the journal kit. You get the add-on and ephemera kit in here and the journal pages. That's all that's in here. However, I do an all-in-one where you get that, but then you also get a set of the altered book pages, all right, which we're going to use today, the large sheets, and the background pages, which we're also using today. Now the background pages, there's 17 designs, I think, and for the printed kit I give you a set where you have double-sided printed and a set that's single for projects. All right, the double-sided printers, we're going to use a number of those in our journal signatures. All right, so that's that. This piece of card is what we're going to do for the middle bit of our journal. So this will be the 3rd signature, really. It's not really a signature. I'm doing what I did pretty much with the pause and clause journal, where we've got like a folio, because it's all the planning bits that I want to put in there. Okay, so you'll need a sheet of the, I've just got craft stock here. Okay, just 1 sheet for that, and 1 for some die cuts if you're doing die cuts. All right, so that's the paper side of things. Okay, so I will get to this at the end. So you want your background pages and everything. If you haven't printed out your kits already, remember I have them as digitals as well. You can get an all-in-one offer. All you need to do is decide whether you use the US letter size paper, 8.5 by 11 inch, or if you use the A4. All right, so that's 8 3/4 inch by 8 1/4. All right, the details for that are on my website in the description box. You'll see all the different metric measurements and what's included there. If you're not sure, drop me an email. I will get back to you with any questions you might have. All right, so that's the paper side of things. I am actually going to use a couple of other things in here. Now, one of the things is we are going to be using paper bags. Because this is a rustic theme, I really thought the paper bags had to go in here. And I did get some new designs for Christmas. So if you've bought the Ultimate Bundle, this is the Ultimate Bundle. All right, it's the fabric or that I'm going to use along with the cover fabric that we're going to cover our fabric with. This is all in a rustic Christmas theme. So you've got all your ribbons here. In the rustic theme. This is the only glitzy one because I have a plan for that. You've got these two bags which have all your cords and lovely natural fibered bits in there. And then in this one, I've put something else in here now, but you've got your elasticated cord in there. Okay, in a natural color so that it'll blend nicely. Right, so and these two bags which I showed you, I did this with one of them. Okay, so you'll have that. You get all your lace pieces as well. This is just the tissue that they came in. Now, each one of these comes in a paper bag, and we will be using 2 of the paper bags in our journal signature. You'll see those. All right, so there we go. I've just put that there so I don't forget. Right, so that covers the lace, the ribbon, the fabric, etc. But of course, guys, if you have something yourself, so if you've got fabrics from last year or other Christmas fabrics, don't feel you can't follow along. I'd love to have you follow along and do the make the journal, Christmas journal as well. All right, so there we go. That's that side of things. These are the trays I'm talking about. I have gone and used a lot of what I've had before. I have bought 1 or 2 things, but please do not feel obligated to do so. All right, on the die cut side of things, I have just pulled out my greenery. All right, these are the ones that I use time and time again, these 2. Now this one I think is called Holiday Greens. All right, I use this one a lot. Okay, and then this one, I do like to use some of these, especially those, what for, and that one. All right, so this one's called Garden Greens. Okay, these are all on my Amazon favorite tools list. I've used these time and time again. Now, I've also got this one, which I've also used a fair amount. And I'm going to use a couple of these. So don't go and buy things specially. This is paper snowflakes. All right. So that's what I'm going to use to make the die cuts. Very much focused on the greens and the natural colors. I'll show you now. And a touch of red. But the red, well, let's get on to that. Okay, so let me show you. Right, so I have started with the die cutting. I've got greens, lots of greens. I've got 3 or 4 different greens. I've cut out of this craft color card. I cut that out because I want to bring in that sort of Hessian burlap look. Then I've also cut out in the lighter shade. I'll give you the colors in a minute. Then greens, lots of greens. These I had last year. All right, and this is just one. This is my aloe vera color. I use a lot of basil, but not 100%. I mean, the card, this here isn't basil. Okay, this red is from last year called Classic Red from Basil. However, I want a darker shade. I want it to be darker. All right, so I have ordered another one, which is called Poppy Red. So we'll see how that looks. Okay, so that's where I've started so far, and I'll tell you the colors that I've used because I know people will ask me. So I've pulled them out here. Okay, so this one I use all year round for greens. This is called aloe vera. Okay, it's basil. This is the Classic Red, but I'm just doing very few of these, just for a pop of red, but I'm going to go with a poppy. Okay. This is the creamier natural color, and this one is called limestone. Okay, I have used this one from last year and I've cut out again. This one's called Emerald City. It's got a bit of a like a frosted look, so I quite like that green. And then this one is not a basil one. This is called olive, and it's on my Amazon favorite tools list. All right. This one I've also used a lot of, also last year, and this one is called Greenbrier. This is the Swiss dot one. Okay, so that is what I have used for the die cut colors. But of course, please go and have a look at whatever paper you have, and you know, use that. You don't have to have the exact same thing I have. All right, I'm not encouraging you to go and buy piles of things when we've probably, this is the 5th Christmas we're doing together. Right, the next thing, while I'm at it, I have just grab a couple of buttons. These are just buttons. I didn't put a button pack together this year. They're just odd buttons I've collected from the various Christmases. We might use a couple, but not too many. That's why I haven't gone. This is just a couple of green and red buttons. All right, so that's why I put that there. And then charms. So if you've got a couple of Christmas charms, I tend to use these more for the tassel. So that's what that's about. Okay, and I haven't put together an extra adornment bundle, but these are very rustic looking. And I thought I'd use these. These are from last year. Okay, so grab those if you have them. I have a couple of packs of this, I think, here. But let me know if you're wanting me to get in these. But I'm hoping we're only going to use 1 or 2, so it's not really worth it. We might use more of the poinsettias. Okay, so that's that side of stuff. I think that's everything there. Then we've gone through the die cuts. This is what I bought that was new. And because I thought, especially this one, which is a layering stencil, I liked it because I use a lot of gingham in things, and we're using gingham for Christmas. And this one is called a gingham layering stencil from Tumults. All right, so there's that. Then I'm going to use this one, which is a new one. Because I've used the same ones for years, I thought I'd buy a new one. This is called Festive Layering Stencil. Okay, just for some of the pages. And then I like this one. It's got a burlap look. All right, so this is called, burlap layering stencil. So I treated myself and I got those. That's what I'm going to use on some of the bits and bobs. Okay, then I have pulled out some of my stamps. This is from last year and I have already used these. I'll show you what I'm doing with them. This is a new one and I'm not sure if I'm going to use this, but I pulled it out because I really liked it. It was combined with postcards. This is called a Festive Collage Stencil. Nice to put onto pages or tea stain pages and things like that. Okay, these are from last year and I'm not sure if I'm going to use these or not. We'll see. But this one I am using and it's new. And this is called Forest Floor. All right. And I'll show you what I've done with this one and this one. Okay. Right, so that's everything I've gathered that I might possibly use. And I like to keep it in here so when I'm working, I can do so. Okay. Now, I've used inks that I used from before. So these are not new. This is the red I'm going with, and I promise you I have about 5 different types of red, but I wanted a darker one, so I've gone with this one, Lumberjack Plaid. Okay, so that's the red we're going to use. I'm going to go with the deeper green, which is Rustic Wilderness, and we've used this before. I've got Rusty Hinge here, it's got like a gold look. I don't know if I can, my hand's full of red not from that one. All right, so I might use that. But I quite like crushed olive. It sort of makes things pop. All right, so I quite like that. And then I did grab antique linen. Okay, so that's what I have got for various bits there. I can tell you that I did actually use my vintage photo for what I'm going to show you in a sec. Okay, so that's the other one. Now, with that snowflake stencil, this one, I went and cut, stamped and cut out using these inks, the snowflakes in here. I can't open the box. Oh my goodness. That's not good, is it? Oh, there we go. Sorry. So I have cut out piles of snowflakes here because I like layering with them. Here's one of the ones with antique linen. All right, so I have done that with the snowflakes, and I did the same with the other one, this one here. Okay, because I quite thought this would be nice when I'm doing pages where I want to add stuff. Forest floor, I've used these as like fussy cuts. So this is with the vintage photo, these pine cones. All right, and then you can see I've done with the winter green one I showed you, the crushed olive, and I quite like layering those up when I'm doing collages on things. All right, so that's what I'm using, definitely going with that. So yeah, now what I want to do, share with you is what I've done with these two signatures and how I've pulled this all together. All right, so two signatures, signature 1 and signature 2. I'm going to open this up like this. I have used all the pages as I said I would and put everything together in here. Okay, so let's go this way. This is the first page which I've chosen to be the sort of the cover of that signature. And on the back I have printed this with this paper. Now if you've bought a printed kit from me, this is done for you already. Okay, so don't stress. Then I've got a background page here, and that's printed like this on both sides. Okay, then I've divvied everything up. So this is a writing page, and on the back we've got the red stripes. Then we have one of the altered book pages. Okay, so I've just trimmed that. That's going to go in there. And then this is a background page. I folded 3 inches on there. This is what I do every time. 3 inches, fold it over, then just meet the other side with that edge. Okay, so that's what I've done there. It's a background page. Okay, this is one of those extra freebies I gave you in that kit. All right, so I've folded it in half. I've printed this beautiful natural embroidered bit on the back there. And then on here we've got this lovely Yule log. And on that side I've gone with a green check gingham. Okay. Then this page here with the houses and the snowman, I've gone with this on the other side. Okay. Then I've gone with the background page, the red gingham. I've done 3 inches again, met it up there, and there we go. All right. Then we have another writing page, and I've gone with the goldish stripes. Now I have put in one of these sheets in each of the signatures. This is just my cream lacy paper. It's so natural looking and works for everything I ever make. I always use it. And that's the same paper I've backed all my ephemera on. All right. Then we've got this page, which is a background page. All right. So that's going in there. And then I've taken this lovely bag. Isn't that amazing? I love these bags. Merry Christmas, so rustic. I've put that in there, folded in half. That's all I've done. Okay, we've got this lovely ice skating rink page with this printed on the other side. And then we've got the wooden rocking horse. And we've got the mistletoe printed on that side. Okay. Here's another altered book page. All right. And then we've got the jingle bells here with the old gold gingham. And then this lovely background is printed on the angel, this angel. All right. So I followed the same principle in the next signature, but with the remainder of the pages. All right. So there's the one, and here's the other. All right. I think there's 17 sheets in there with the bags and everything. Okay. So for this one, this is going to be our front page. Okay. And again, it's got the same as that one on the back, and I love this, very earthy. Okay, and then we've gone, instead of the green there, we've gone with the natural background page, just folded in half. All right, here we've gone with a writing page, so the one that remains with the red, and then we've gone with an altered book page. Okay, lots of different layers, I love it. Okay, I've taken this old gold background page and again folded in 3 centimeters and just net that up. Okay, keeps it simple if we do that. And then here's one of the old church scenes, and then here we've gone with the green on the back. Okay, here's the kitchen and the food. I love the Christmas food. Old gold there. And then we've gone with the other page here, and I've gone with this nice one. And then here's the green background page, and I've just folded that on and put it on the other side, so you've got one on each. And then we've got the robin writing page, and that's got the green stripes. Okay. Here is our lacy page, so that's there, and then here's another background page. I've just folded that in half. All right, so we've gone with Merry Christmas, okay, with this bag, and then we've got the Christmas market image, and that on that side. I've tried to split it up with the different signatures, so we've got this one here, the Christmas stockings, and this lovely one on the other side, and then we've got the Christmas hamper box. There we go, and then almost done, we've got the baubles and the terraced houses with the red on that side, and then the lovely Christmas quilt with the angels on that side. Okay, so there are your 2 journal signatures, and as I said, we're going to use this to make pages for the inside as well. Okay, so yeah, there we go. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to what pages I'm going to put in the middle, but it will definitely be linked to this sort of thing, gifts received and stuff. All right, so we're going to make some kind of bits there, probably writing pages, so we might need some extras of that, but let me leave that with me, and we'll come back to that. All right, so I think that's everything that I wanted to share with you today. We will put together our first project next week, so lots to keep you busy with all this homework, ladies and gentlemen. I have given you a lot to do. It did take me a long time, so I hope that this keeps you busy this weekend, and I hope you're feeling festive and excited so that we can make a start and have some fun, because that's what I like about the Christmas journal. It's always lots of fun. All right, guys and girls, I will wish you a very happy weekend. I hope this keeps you busy. The weather's definitely right for this. I've got a lovely casserole on, and I took my dogs for a walk. Abby's turned 10 today. She's 10 years old today. It's her birthday on Friday the 24th. Yesterday, Teddy turned 4 months old. But I have walked them today, and the first 2 days ago I walked them together. It was an absolute nightmare. The one wants to go like a snail and the other one wants to go like a bullet, so it didn't work. And also he's never walked before, so we have resulted in them having separate walks. I take Teddy first, and we go down the road, and I'm teaching him not to run ahead of me, you know, stand to my right, not cross over my, all of that stuff you've got to teach dogs. And Abby and I then go afterwards for a nice, well-trained, placid walk, anyway, to keeping me active. All right, now that I've gone through the dogs things, they're very quiet today, aren't they? They're behaving themselves. All right, guys, I'm going to go and grab some lunch. The light is already starting to fade. I will go and see you again and wish you well. And thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. And I hope that you're just as excited about this as I am. Okay, guys, I'll love and leave you. See you soon. Bye-bye.